Shalom. This is the brothers of GMS New Orleans coming at you with another quick lesson. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. Shalom. And with this lesson, we're just going to get straight into it with Revelation chapter 9, verse 12.
I get it. Revelation chapter 9, verse 12. One woe is past, and behold, there come two more woes hereafter.
And we know woe in the scriptures means destruction. And that one woe that is past is speaking of World War I, which we know is clearly past, and then two more woes hereafter. World War II, which is past, and this third woe, which is quickly coming upon us, World War III, which will go nuclear. It ain't by a coincidence that over these last couple of years, you've had the U.S. and Russia take themselves out of a lot of these Cold War era nuclear weapons treaties, and then every other day in the news you're hearing talks about nuclear weapons deployments or new nuclear weapons coming out, which is what we're going to be going into with this lesson, because just the other day Russia finally put the Sarmat, dubbed Satan II missile, into military use. And brothers have been talking about that missile for the longest time now. That highly destructive missile, which best believe is going to be used during this third woe, when Russia and its allies, along with the allies of the U.S. that are going to turn against her, are going to shoot 200 million nuclear missiles onto this whore, turning it into the biblical lake of fire from sea to shining sea, and then a desolate, uninhabitable wasteland afterwards. And all you people in the United States of America that aren't of the elect of the nation of Israel are going to be that fuel for the fire. You had a precept?
Yeah. Okay, this is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 10. And the Lord has brought forth her righteousness. Come, and let us declare it in Zion, the works of the Lord, our power. And this is the point. Everything else is the point. It says, 11, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord has raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes.
And we know that those Medes, talking about the spiritual Medes, those Russians that are coming with those arrows, those nuclear tipped arrows against Babylon, the daughter of Babylon.
All right, and it says, for he has devised against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong, set up the watchmen. All right, prepare the ambush, for the Lord has both devised and done that which he has against the inhabitants of Babylon.
Hey, prepare the ambush, because what? A lot of people, though they hear talks of nuclear missiles, they would never think anybody would push the button, turn the keys. Nobody would risk mad or mutually assured destruction. But that's not what it says according to the scriptures. As the brother just brought out, and in many other precepts, those nuclear missiles are going to get used, and many places on the earth are going to get hit, and a lot of people are going to die. And the United States of America alone is going to be completely wiped off the face of the earth, with every single man, woman, and child, young and old, in it. And again, Russia is going to be that main nation, the king of the Medes, that's going to come against this whore, Babylon. But we got an article from Radar Online dealing with the recent deployment of the Sarmat Satan II missile, and it's titled Nuke Alert, Putin puts 16,000 mile per hour doomsday nuke dubbed Satan II that can sink UK in one strike on combat duty for the first time. For the first time, the world's most powerful nuclear weapon was placed on combat duty thanks to Vladimir Putin. RadarOnline.com has learned the nuclear weapon dubbed Satan II has the capability to sink the UK with one strike. We'll jump down. The Satan II was 116 feet in length and could travel nearly 16,000 miles per hour, all while being outfitted with 15 light nuclear warheads. Somebody else said it was 10. This article says it's 15. Who knows exactly how many warheads can be in that missile, which makes it easy to understand that 200 million nuclear missiles are going to hit this place because one nuke is filled with multiple warheads.
Right.
And I was also watching something else to where they said that these are instead of solid fuel powered nuclear missiles, these Satan IIs are liquid fuel, which you only use liquid fuel missiles if you're doing a first strike. What, that ambush. So clearly the scriptures are correct in saying that the king of the Medes is setting that ambush against Babylon, that first strike to you know, take out the United States of America. The Doomsday missile was equipped to travel 16,000 miles to the UK in just 6 minutes, leaving little time for Putin's critics to react. Russia was initially supposed to go on combat duty in late 2022, but was delayed for unknown reasons. Currently, Western countries have no active missile that could inflict the same level of destruction as the Satan II, which the Kremlin proudly toted. And hey, that's all through the will of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, putting the spirit and the knowledge on these Russian scientists to create these nuclear weapons and these hypersonic weapons, much more advanced than anything the U.S. has to easily fulfill that biblical prophecy. You got a precept?
Yeah, and this is a part of it. You know, I can jump around with it too, but this is a part of it. All right, this is what's going on. I could jump around, but I'm gonna get this point. This is what he was saying. This is what's finna happen. Joel chapter 3 verse 12, it says, "Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge the heathen round about. Put in thy sickle, for the harvest is ripe." All right, and why is he taking? He's basically, Vladimir Putin has taken the missile Satan II off the shelf and then put it in active duty because it's saying right here. All right, put in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. It's time. It's time for it to go in active duty to be used, man. All right, get you down, for the press is full, and the gate overflow, for their wickedness is great.
Hey, wickedness has reached into the heavens. What was it saying, Jeremiah 51? I don't want to paraphrase it.
I remember this one. I have like 30 minutes.
Oh, kind. It says, where was that? This is Jeremiah 51, I'm going to start at 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken off of what? Her wines and her philosophies. That wickedness. You know, democracy, feminism, and that alphabet group beginning with LG. And especially pushing this atheistic, anti-scriptures, God mindset out here. That made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Their people are bugged out on these different philosophies, and what? They're mad seeing that following after this whore, hey, they got the clap, so to speak. They've been infected, so what? They're looking to get their licks back.
Right.
Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her. Let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies.
That's another thing what you got going on too. All these nations are backing away from this whore. All right, everybody has basically chose sides. Case in point with the how you said Brexit?
The BRICS.
The BRICS. All right, they have chosen sides. They have, you know, nations are dropping $1 by the day, man. All right, so everybody's backing off this whore, and then what's gonna happen? These nations, all right along with the allies, are gonna turn on this whore, man, and ambush this bitch, man. All right, because all of America's allies, including this mother of this whore, which is Britain, are gonna do what? They're gonna shoot missiles too, right along with NATO.
And it says in Jeremiah 50, her mother was sore confounded of her. That immediately talks about shooting them arrows. But just to back you up in that Joel 3, it said what? Their wickedness has been pretty much the wickedness has fully engulfed and succeeded. And what? The sickle's going to be thrust in to get the cluster of the grapes. Those grapes ready to be harvested for destruction, which is exactly what it talks about in Revelation chapter 14. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire, had nuclear fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, speaking to Yahushua, saying, thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe, to be harvested for that destruction. And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of the Most High. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horses' bridles, by the space of 1,600 furlongs. And when you go into some different translations of that, that's talking about hundreds of miles of blood as high as a horse's bridle, like 6-7 feet high. That just goes to show the great death and destruction that's going to take place when those nuclear missiles hit this place. And like we've been saying throughout the video, if you are not of that elect number in Babylon the Great, the United States of America, it's no hope for you. You're going to be the fuel for the fire. And I just got one more. Yeah, go ahead. Isaiah chapter 13, started verse, we'll start at verse 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes, the king of the Medes, Russia, backing up what the brother brought out in that Jeremiah 51, against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. When it comes time for them to turn those keys and shoot those nukes, Federal Reserve notes, charagmas, gold and silver, or peace treaties are going to do anything to stop them from fulfilling their lot of prophecy. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. Men, women, children, young, old, are not going to be exempt from this judgment.
It's going to be destroyed, man.
Khan.
Like the brother said, it's not going to just be small numbers. Millions. When one nuke drop, 14.7 million gone. 38 million gone. All in one swoop, man. All right, because we can go into more scriptures for the sake of time. We're going to end it, but the scripture tells you in the book of Isaiah, the 34th chapter, that the Lord going to spread the line of confusion here in Babylon. All right, meaning all these outlines of the different states that you see, Texas, Louisiana, all right, Kansas, California, you name them. When he get done with it, you're not going to know where those cities once lied at, man. All right, you're going to be confused on it. That was Louisiana. I'm sure Louisiana was right here. I'm sure. All right, Tennessee was here, but you ain't gonna be able to know.
It's gonna be like that Etch-a-Sketch. Right. Imagine writing the United States of America, then shaking it up to that blank image.
Right.
Verse 19. And Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And Sodom and Gomorrah was overthrown with that fire and brimstone from the sky. And to this day, it is an uninhabitable wasteland. So this modern day Sodom and Gomorrah is going to be overthrown with that modern fire and brimstone. Those 200 million nuclear tipped ICBMs. And besides being known as Babylon the Great in the scriptures, as pursuant to Revelation 11 verse 8, the United States of America is also known as spiritual Sodom, which is very easy to see. What's going on today in New Orleans? Decadence Fest, which is a high holy day for those alphabet people. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. And we know this isn't talking about ancient Babylon and Iraq, because people are there to this day. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures. And owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there, and the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. Human beings are never going to dwell here again after those nukes hit, but only desert creatures that can survive harsh environments. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. And when we see information like the Satan II reaching combat duty, hey, we know that this whore's days are no longer being prolonged, but her judgment is near to come. It is at the door. Hey, as it said in that Joel 3, hey, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. Hey, that battle of Armageddon over in the Middle East is about to take place, and the day of Yahweh and the judgment of this horde about to take place as well. You got any points, I?
No, that's it.
Okay. And so with that, we hope your sincere Akim and Akwath were edified by this quick lesson. And again, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakagodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Shalom.